To get you out to Minneapolis, where two of the last four American League MVPs face off in an AL Central matchup that promises plenty of fireworks.
Tonight, under the lights, reigning Triple Crown winner Miguel Cabrera leads the first-place Tigers into the Twin Cities for an AL Central showdown with one of baseball's best, five-time All-Star Joe Mauer. Baseball Night in America takes center stage right now on Fox. And welcome to beautiful Target Field here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was raining earlier. It's not anymore. It's turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball as the Tigers come to town to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Tigers won Game 1 of the series last night 4-0. They have a 4.5 game lead over the Indians. You see Minnesota at 7.5 back of first place. And hello to everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Burt Blylevin. And Burt, when anybody talks about this Tigers team, they talk about the offense, and rightfully so, Cabrera and Fielder. But how about their starting pitching?
Boy, have the starting pitching been solid for the Detroit Tigers. Combined 33 and 16 as a starting staff. A combined 3.35 ERA. A lot of great arms. They feed off of each other. A lot of strikeouts by the Detroit pitching staff.
They will have Anibal Sanchez going tonight in Game 2. As far as the Twins are concerned, people talk about Justin Morneau, and they expect power out of him. He only has 2 home runs this year.
Yeah, they really haven't seen the power out of Justin Morneau yet. Only 2 home runs, the last one coming back on April 28th. The averages there, hitting .289. He's driving in runs, the most on the Twins staff. But, again, they would like to see more power out of Justin.
Well, the sun is shining here at Target Field. The bright lights will come on later on some of these offensive players. It should be a good one here in Minnesota. Detroit against the Twins. It's coming up next right here on Fox. Fields, 68 degrees, decreasing clouds, increasing sun, and nightfall will come upon us. The starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live boss here for the Detroit Tigers. Austin Jackson will lead things off and play center. Andy Dirks in left will bat second. Miguel Cabrera in the 3-hole plays third base. Prince Fielder bats cleanup and plays first. Victor Martinez will DH and bat fifth. Johnny Peralta at short bats sixth. The bottom third of the order, Don Kelly, Omar Infante, and Alex Avila. And they will face the right-hander, Samuel DeDuno, on the season 2-1, a 3.47 ERA. 10 walks, 13 strikeouts. What can we expect from him?
Well, DeDuno's going to be effectively wild. He can walk the ballpark, but the big thing is the first 3 innings for DeDuno. Walks and pitch counts a little on the high side. He's coming off a start in Washington. 94 pitches in 5 innings. Too many pitches in a short amount of time. And a little rematch here this afternoon between DeDuno and Sanchez. They met last on May 24th, the night that Sanchez threw the one-hit shutout against the Twins.
The opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. The 0-1 to Jackson is fouled back, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Jackson on the season, 266, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Last night, his first game back off the DL, and this is big. And you know, I say it's big. Here the Tigers are 4.5 games in first place, but you get your leadoff hitter back, you get your starting center fielder back as he takes the breaking ball up and in.
Well, there's a little bit of the effectively wild by DeDuno. He'll throw one underneath your chin and then hit that corner down and away. Yeah, Jackson missed over a month because of a right hamstring injury, so Tigers happy he's back.
Flies one out to left center field. There's Clete Thomas to make the catch. The defensive lineup brought to you by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. In the outfield from left to right, Oswaldo Arcia is in left, Clete Thomas in center, Chris Parmelee in right. Around the horn in the infield, Justin Morneau at first base, Brian Dozier at second, Pedro Florimon at short, Trevor Plouffe back off the DL, he is at third, and Ryan Domit is behind the plate.
Yeah, both these clubs play pretty good defense. The Twins with 27 errors and the Tigers with 28.
Andy Dirks takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Dirks, good numbers against DeDuno in his career, 6 for 10. And he swings at that off-speed pitch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Dirks on the season, 250 with 5 home runs and 20 RBIs.
Yeah, Dirks in his 3rd season with the Tigers had a very good year last year. Now he missed 2 months on a disable list with some right Achilles tendonitis, but he ended up hitting .322.
Another slider there, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count here to Dirks.
DeDuno, 29 years old, 2nd season with the Twins.
Ground ball to second base. Ryan Dozier. Easy 2 up, 2 down here in the first for Samuel DeDuno. Jim Leland, manager of the Detroit Tigers, 8th season already at the helm for the Tigers.
He's a good one. I tell you, he's from what they call an old school. We talked to Jim Leland earlier. He said, it's not the old school. It's just the way that you're supposed to play the game. And we'll go a little bit more into Jim Leland and his history about playing the game a little bit later.
Now Miguel Cabrera. You look at his numbers, and all you can say is, wow. This is following a Triple Crown season. And the first pitch fastball misses inside for ball 1. Just, you know, Bert, we're talking before the game, looking over some game notes, and obviously he has 69 RBIs in 65 games. 1-0 taken low, 2 balls and no strikes, so you know he hits well with runners in scoring position. How about this? He's hitting .493 on the year with runners in scoring position.
Well, that's why it shows the 69 RBIs on the year. I mean, Chris Davis second, but this guy can just flat out hit. He has had an unbelievable career. When he first came up with the Marlins in 2003, he has been hitting ever since. See the average this year, hitting .354. On base percentage, leading the world in RBIs. Hits only. Ground ball right there to Trevor Plouffe, just activated off the disabled list, makes the play.
A 1-2-3 inning worth for Samuel DeDuno. No score at the end of a half an inning. Joe Mauer due up second for the Twins in the first. It's time for the starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss for the Twins. Clete Thomas leads off. Joe Mauer will DH at bat second. Brian Domet in the 3-hole. Justin Morneau cleans up. Oswaldo Arcia will bat fifth. Trevor Kloot will bat sixth. In the bottom third, Chris Parmelee, Brian Dozier, and Pedro Florma. They will face the right-hander, Anibal Sanchez. On the season, good numbers. 6-5, a 2.65 earned run average, 19 walks, 98 strikeouts. And the first pitch to Thomas is in there for a strike. How about the scouting report on Sanchez?
Sanchez's last start back on June 4th. This is 11 days between starts. Missed some time with the stiff shoulder. Might be the best pitching staff in baseball. And there, Clete Thomas starts the ball game off. Sanchez with a base hit to right field. One thing Sanchez has done, he struggled on the road a little bit. 1-4 on the road, 5-1 in Detroit at Comerica Park.
And what's funny is that Sanchez faced this Twins team back on May 24th against Samuel Doduno. And he went 9 innings, gave up 1 hit. He's gone 1 batter in this one, and he's given up 1 hit.
And that 1 hit was off the bat of Joe Mauer with 1 out in the 9th inning. So, yeah, a little different ball game.
Here is Joe Mauer. 328, 6 home runs, 19 RBIs. And Mauer takes the fastball in there for a strike.
Well, one thing to see Thomas get a base hit, which is nice, but it's in that number 1 spot, and that's been a struggle for the Twins. That leadoff hitter had not been able to get on a regular basis for Ron Gardenhire and the Twins. So Thomas, in his first game as a leadoff hitter, gets a base hit and gets on base for Joe Mauer.
And part of the reason why Joe Mauer has just 19 RBIs on the season.
There's a graphic right there. Leadoff hitters this year. There's been 5, 6 different leadoff hitters. Just 171.
0-1, line drive center field. Austin Jackson is there with his sunglasses on to make the catch. 1 away. The defense behind Sanchez in the outfield from left to right. Andy Dirks, Austin Jackson, Don Kelly around the horn in the infield. Prince Fielder at first base, Omar Infante at second, Johnny Peralta at short, Miguel Cabrera at third, and behind the plate is Alex Avila. 1 away now for Ryan Domet, the catcher.
Well, you can see the bright sun. Always look at the shadows of the outfielders, where they are. And right, Jackson playing center field. His shadow directly behind him, so he's looking almost right into that sun.
Domet takes the first pitch outside, and Austin Jackson, a very good defensive center fielder. A look back over at Thomas, 0 for 1 on the year in stolen bases.
Sanchez features a very good fastball in the low 90s, really good slider, and an outstanding changeup. The changeup got Joe Mauer to pop up to Jackson in center field.
Thomas takes off from first on a hit and run. Ground ball to second. Omar Infante makes the play. 2 away as Clete Thomas is now at second base.
Well, Ron Gardenhire, we talked to him, Justin, before the ballgame. He wants to do a little more hit and running. Maybe that was a hit and run right there. He wants to get that club moving a little bit. He doesn't have the same club he had, say, 4 or 5 years ago. Not as athletic as he mentioned. So they have to try to do the little things to create home runs. Runs. The home runs have not been coming.
And Justin Morneau, he is that guy where they're looking for those home runs. Just 2 on the season. The cleanup hitter, and he takes that changeup outside for ball 1. Morneau's numbers, you mentioned it in the open. Batting average is good, 289. RBIs are there, 38. But the home runs right now just not there.
Yeah, he's only hit 2 home runs, both of them coming here at Target Field, and that's unusual because this is not a home run hitting ballpark. But a guy that hit 19 home runs last year and has hit 206 home runs. He's in that number 4 spot for a reason, to drive the ball out of the ballpark. Ron Gardenhire mentioned he'd like to have the guy in a lineup that can give me a 2-run, 3-run home run. Justin has not provided that yet.
And he said what it does is, yeah, obviously it gets those 2-3 runs, but it also just builds the confidence for the team. 1-1, Chase is one upstairs, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
One thing he's trying to do is hit a home run against Sanchez, and Sanchez has only given up 3 home runs. Now, they have all come to left-handers, but he has been one nasty pitcher out on that mound. Opponents hitting just 228 off of him.
Thomas on at second, 2 outs, bottom half of the first, no score. The 1-2 pitch gets him chasing again. So after a leadoff single, Thomas is stranded at second base. No score at the end of 1, and the Prince will lead off in the second. Prince fielder for the Tigers. Podcast is sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. And by Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. Prince fielder against Aduno. And the first pitch is taken low and inside with a fastball for ball 1.
What a beautiful afternoon this has turned out. About 2 hours ago, it was raining cats and dogs here. Now almost not a cloud in the sky.
The 1-0 to fielder. Misses low and inside, 2-0. It was raining so hard you could not see the buildings out beyond the outfield wall.
You know, all these new ballparks, Target Field in its 4th year of existence, they drain so well. Unbelievable, and a beautiful stadium here in Minnesota.
3 balls and no strikes to fielder, who's hitting .289 on the year with 12 home runs and 54 RBIs. So how's that? You got Miguel Cabrera with 69 RBIs in the 3-hole. You've got Prince fielder with 54 RBIs in the 4-hole. And he's taken 3-0 and takes a strike.
Hey, he's just picking up the garbage. That's all. Cabrera 69. Oh, yeah, by the way, you can drive me in once in a while if you'd like.
I'm impressed there are 54 runners to be driven in after the guy in front of you drives in 69. Ground ball to second base. Brian Dozier's there. And 4 in a row retired by Aduno to start this game. How about the keys to the game?
Well, let's take a look at the keys to the game for the Minnesota Twins and the Detroit Tigers. What it comes down to is just pitching. That's all. Quality starts all around for the Detroit Tigers. Tigers have been unbelievable. 46 quality starts in their first 65 ball games. And for the Twins, the lack of quality starts. Only 24 quality starts in their 64 ball games.
Well, so far, Samuel Aduno has retired the first 4 batters he has faced. 3 groundouts, 1 flyout, and now Victor Martinez, the switch-hitting DH, steps in. He takes the fastball for a strike.
Yeah, you can talk about offense all you want, but the clubs that have the best starting staff, they're the ones that are leading their divisions, the most consistent staffs. Tigers have a good one. Twins are looking to improve with that.
Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Good changeup right there by Aduno. Aduno has pitches that he doesn't throw a straight fastball. He cannot throw anything straight. It's a slider, it's a sinking fastball. There's a changeup right there. He just took off. That might be the straightest pitch we see all afternoon.
So you're saying he's the Bubba Watson of pitchers?
Oh, he effectively, watch where this pitch. Not bad pitch. Gets another ground ball out.
Nice play by Trevor Plouffe. And there are 2 away here in the second. Next Saturday here on Baseball Night in America, David Ortiz and the Red Sox head to Detroit to take on these Tigers. These Twins will be in Cleveland to battle the Indians, Rangers, and Cardinals, Dodgers and Padres, or Reds at the Diamondbacks. Baseball Night in America, presented by Ace Hardware, begins next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox.
Nice play by Trevor Plouffe, just activated off the disabled list. He had a calf injury. Prior to that, he had a concussion that put him on a disabled list. But Plouffe, one thing that they want him to do, not only hit some balls out of the ballpark, they want him to play better defense. And that was a nice play.
He's made a couple of plays already. Johnny Peralta, how about the year he's had? 333. Fouls it back, and he's behind the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Let's take a look at the play of Trevor Plouffe. Having to go to his left. Now he's playing pretty deep, but makes a nice play, regroups, and gets the ball over to first to beat Martinez to the bag.
2 away here in the second. And the 0-2 pitch to Peralta. Breaking ball didn't break.
Yeah, Justin, you're talking about Peralta. I mean, he's hitting 333. Last year he hit 239. The prior year, 299. It's like a roller coaster ride with Peralta. What are you going to get?
Well, he chases one upstairs, and he gets a strikeout. 6 in a row retired by Samuel Deduno to open up this ball game. No score. By Ace Hardware is sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Well, this is what has transpired here today at Target Field. The rain came, and it came hard. And now the sun is out. It's a clear, beautiful night for baseball. Oswaldo Arcia will lead things off here against Anibal Sanchez and takes the first pitch for a strike.
Now, Arcia in his third stint with the Twins. This young man right here, only 22 years old, from Venezuela. He creates some power, and that's another reason that Ron Gardenhire really likes this young man right here in his rookie season.
1-1. Changeup is fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As a matter of fact, Ron Gardenhire said, this is the guy you don't want to miss his at-bat. He said he could strike out 4 times in a game, but you want to see each and every one of his at-bats. A 1-2 inside, nearly catches him. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, signed by the Twins in 2007 out of Venezuela. 5 seasons in the minor leagues, a career .314 hitter. Got some power, just a little bit of speed. Change up right there, pulled foul. Sanchez does so well. That whole staff for the Tigers change speeds. They throw strikes, they trust their fastball, but they realize that their secondary pitch, whether it be that little cutter that Sanchez has or that changeup, they utilize them. They pick up some strikeouts.
Again, pulled foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We just saw Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, and Jim Leland has given a ton of credit to that man right there for the job he's done with this staff. And there was some talk coming in. People knew they had 4 legitimate starters. 2-2 is outside. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there is a question mark about Rick Porcello. Well, Porcello, he had himself a nice start last night. You see Max Scherzer, he's off to a fantastic start. And this rotation 1 through 5 is as deep as any in baseball.
And they have Drew Smiley out on that bullpen, and he could probably be a starter for any other club, but he's in a bullpen, not enough room.
A leadoff walk issued to Arcia. Let's check in with Matt Veskers for a game break.
Justin, the Braves have padded the game's best home record, and they've done it in dramatic style. 2 in the bottom of the 9th against the Giants. A game winner courtesy of Freddie Freeman, making a strong push for perhaps his first All-Star selection. 6-5 Braves, the final. Back to you and Bert.
That team, the Braves, it's an impressive team because you think about the strikeout numbers offensively, then the home runs. It's almost like all or nothing, yet here they are in first place in the NL East, now with a record of 40-28 as the first pitch misses to Trevor Plouffe.
And they're 22-8 at home. Unbelievable, the Braves. Here's Trevor Plouffe celebrating his 27th birthday and also getting recalled from the minor leagues. So happy birthday to Trevor Plouffe.
Maybe that's why he's playing so well on defense.
Yeah, you're getting older, you're getting better.
2 balls and no strikes here.
Hard to see this time of the day. You can see what they're looking at, not only at Sanchez, but the batter's eye and the sun as it's setting here in Minnesota.
There's a strike on the breaking ball from Sanchez. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. Trevor Plouffe, first round pick back in 2004. I wonder if he knows that he's now, every day somebody asks him how old are you, does he say 27? They still say 26.
Well, the Twins would like to see some power out of him, too. Only 4 home runs last year. He hit 24 home runs. The average right around 240. He's not going to hit for a high average, but they'd like to see a little more pop out of his bat.
3 balls, 1 strike. The count to Plouffe after a leadoff walk to Arcia. Arcia off with a pitch. It misses inside. Back-to-back walks issued by Sanchez. A very different game here in this one than we saw from Anibal Sanchez back on May 24th. In that game, he was awesome.
Yeah, this in Detroit, you can see the 1-hit shutout, 12 strikeouts, and that wasn't the most he had in one ballgame. He had 17 earlier this year. And remember, Sanchez, he kind of, he missed the start because of the stiff shoulder. And I think that's what they're worried about right there. The trainer coming out along with Jim Leland. 6 of his last 7 pitches have been out of the strike zone. And very unusual for Sanchez to walk anybody in a ballgame. That's 21 walks now in 79 innings pitched. So control has not been an issue.
Speaking of that control, we showed you the highlights from his 1-hitter complete game on May 24th. Let me ask you the question. As a pitcher, he also had a game against the Braves we saw that highlight of. 8 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 17 strikeouts. Which is the better game?
I like them both because he won both ball games, but I would take the 1-hitter as a pitcher because it's a complete game. The other one, he only won 8 innings.
Here's Parmalee now at the plate with first and second, nobody out. And Parmalee takes the fastball down low and inside.
Well, we asked Jim Leland before the game, remember about Sanchez, a little concerned about that stiffness that he had in his shoulder, and he said it's something that he goes through every year. There's always, that he'll miss a start or you could be pushed back because of some irritation in that shoulder.
On the outside corner with a fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. And I was just about to ask, does Chris Parmalee have to take a strike before he gets freed up to swing?
Yeah, I mean, you walk the first 2 batters of an inning, make them throw a strike, and that's what Parmalee did right there. Sanchez has had only 4 double plays turned behind him this year. And this being his 13th start of the year.
1-1 is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike, and there's no doubt that Sanchez has lost the control here in the second inning. Big swing, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good location, good movement. That's how you get ground balls off that last pitch right there, and Parmalee just swung through it.
Sanchez checks the runner back at second. 2-2 is fouled away, stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anibal Sanchez signed that big contract in the offseason, 5 years, $80 million. That raised a lot of eyebrows across the baseball world, thinking, man, this is a guy who's going to get an $80 million contract. Well, here in year 1 of his contract, he's pitched probably the best he's ever pitched.
And then you mentioned, they already had 4 horses that they were looking going into the season. And, why go out and get a guy like Sanchez? And he's been pitching great. His career record, Sanchez making his 157th major league start, 54 wins, 56 losses, an ERA about 3.7. So does that warrant a 5-year, $80 million contract? To the Tigers it did.
You would have been a really rich man if you were pitching right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Parmalee. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 3, and that's a big pitch for Anibal Sanchez.
Now Bob Davidson calling balls and strikes. And Sanchez, who walked the first 2 batters, a good pitch right there. See Avila where he sat. You'll find out what that umpire will give you, what he won't. And that was right on the corner. Good pitch by Sanchez, picking up his 2nd strikeout.
So 1 away now for Brian Dozier. And Sanchez is a double play away from getting out of this inning. First pitch, ground ball to short. Peralta to second for 1.
Wow.
Over to first base, and there you go.
Give me some numbers. Give me some numbers. My goodness.
Back-to-back walks.
5 numbers. That's all I want.
He gets a double play. No score, end of 2. is presented by Ace Hardware. Back here at Target Field, top of the third, no score. It'll be Don Kelly, Omar Infante, and Alex Avila to face the right-hander Samuel DeDuno, who's retired the first 6 in a row. He throws a strike to Kelly to start him off. Don Kelly on the season, 212, 3 home runs, and 11 RBIs. And we are joined down on the field in the Twins dugout by last night's starter, Scott Diamond. The 0-1. Kelly hits it well down the right field corner. That ball is off the top of the wall. And Kelly heads in a second looking, and he will stop there with a leadoff double.
Yeah, Don Kelly, 3 home runs, one of them coming against DeDuno. The only home run he's allowed so far this year in that May 24th game against Anibal Sanchez. But Kelly looked like an off-speed pitch, opened up quickly, hit it high off the wall in right field, maybe 2-3 feet from going out, but it's a double for Kelly.
All right, again, we are joined by Scott Diamond. Scott, thanks for joining us. DeDuno retired the first 6. What do you see on that pitch right there?
Yeah, it just looked like Don Kelly really just jumped on that first pitch. You know, it seems like this Tiger teams have been really aggressive against us early in the series.
Hey, Scott, last night 5 shutout innings, a 6th inning, a little trouble, back-to-back doubles, but they gave him a 4-0 lead. How'd you feel last night?
You know, I felt better. You know, I think things have been progressing pretty well for me, and you know, ever since coming off of surgery. And you know, it's tough having that 6th inning happen the way it did, but you know, I got to be a little better at shutting down those big innings.
I know spring training, you missed a lot of spring training because of the bone chips that were removed in December, but you know, your first 5 starts, you were dealing. I mean, you were pitching really good. Last 7, not so good. What do you have to do to turn that around?
Yeah, me and our pitching coach Rick Anderson have been, you know, spending a lot of time in the bullpen trying to get the mechanics right. I've been a little out of sync, and you know, the same thing with the training staff. We're trying to build my arm strength up and continue to make it so that I can try to push my pitch count up a little higher. So, you know, right now it's just trying to get everything going together and find my rhythm. But I think last night was a good sign and a step in the right direction.
Omar Infante goes the other way. Chris Parmalee on the run in the corner makes the catch. Don Kelly tagging up from second, and he is into third base with 1 away. Last night, Scott Diamond, 5 2/3, 4 earned, 5 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, kept his team really in the game for a long time.
Yeah, he did. You know, Porcello just pitched outstanding, but yeah, it's some good defensive plays behind you, Scott. And you're not an overpowering strikeout pitcher, so you need good defense. Well, let me ask you something. 2 nights ago, Cliff Lee pitched against the Twins, the Philadelphia Phillies. I always say when I watch you throughout the summer, you have a lot of the same mechanics as Cliff Lee. Were you watching closely?
Yeah, I was. Whenever I was inside grabbing a drink or something, I was glued to the television, and when I was out here, I was right on the railing. So he's one of the guys that you know, I really try to emulate, and you know, watched a lot of video of his coming up, and you know, he's just a guy that I have a lot of respect for, and that I try to pitch a lot like.
Yeah, that's one thing with interleague play. I particularly don't care for the interleague play, but you get to watch somebody that, you know, you kind of tried to pitch like.
Right, exactly. Yeah. You know, and I found that too, you know, going into Washington, got to face Jordan Zimmerman. You really don't get that chance to see most of those guys. And, you know, we have a lot of great pitchers here in the AL, but, you know, being able to go to the National League and mix over a little bit, you're getting to see both sides, which is pretty nice.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Alex Avila. Runner on third. The infield is in with 1 away here in the top of the third. We are speaking with Scott Diamond, last night's starting pitcher for the Twins, and the breaking ball is in there to Avila. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good curveball right there. What you're thinking as a pitcher right here, I need a strikeout. Now, DeDuno has 13 strikeouts in 25 innings pitched. Good breaking ball. Avila's been struggling. You want to make a good pitch right here with the infield in. Maybe a ground ball again.
The 1-2. Breaking ball. Hit on the ground is short. Florimon comes home, and they got him at the plate.
He did get the ground ball. Florimon hit to his right, allows him to just kind of keep the momentum. Got it to Ryan Doumit quickly, and that's what you want as a catcher. Florimon comes up, good strong throw, Doman able to get that ball, tag Kelly before he gets to the plate. And Deduno says, thank you very much. Nice play.
All right, so Scott, what's that feeling like on the mound when that infield's in and they make a play like that to cut down the runner at home?
That's a big relief right there, you know, because especially being the first run of the game, you know, that's a big out. And, you know, our defense, especially our infield, Florimon, has been just crucial for our defense this year. And, you know, he's been really playing great, and especially swinging the bat great as well. So,
by the way, Scott, I'm quite impressed. Now that you got the headset on, you're part of the media, so there's no cheering. There was no cheering on that play. That was...
I gave a little smile. I gave a smile. Yeah, I'm a little more reserved when I got the headset on.
You could drop a yes.
Line drive past the diving Dozier into center field. Stopping at second is Avila, so first and second. 2 away here in the third. We are speaking with Scott Diamond. And Scott, I just need to ask this question because Sports Illustrated had the article about Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder. What is it like as a pitcher facing those two guys back to back?
Yeah, you know, they're definitely the best duo in the league, I think. You know, I'm a little biased because I have to face them, you know, 5-6 times a year. But, you know, I think Miguel Cabrera is the most rounded player in the game, and especially, you know, he's solid on defense, but his offensive game speaks for itself. And, you know, when he has the power to hit an opposite field home run, or, you know, just hit the simple single, and then, you know, Fielder, who crowds the plate and has some just exceptionally fast hands, you know. I think that the two of them really complement this lineup and make them the most feared offense in the AL.
Well, Scott, we appreciate you taking the time as Dirks grounds out to end the inning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're through 2.5. No score here, Tigers and Twins. Now for the third, 9-1-2 in the order to face Anibal Sanchez. And the first pitch to Pedro Florimon is taken in there for a strike. We're joined down in the dugout by tomorrow's starter for the Tigers, Doug Fister. As we have no score here, bottom half of the third inning. The 0-1 is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Doug, thanks for joining us. We were talking about this at the very top of the broadcast, just how well you guys as a starting rotation have pitched this year and especially recently. What is it? What's been the key to success for you guys?
I think our biggest and strongest attribute is the fact that we work so well together. whether we're here in the dugout or up in the clubhouse, we're always trying to help one another, trying to figure out different things that could help during the game or help during our game. Rick and I have really spent a lot of time sitting and talking because we're very similar in pitching styles, and I think that that helps a lot.
Pitching tomorrow against the Minnesota Twins, Doug, you got Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer, a good hitter. Any way that you try to approach him?
I think the biggest thing is just mixing him up. He's got, I think he's got some good numbers off of me. He's hit it well. I've made some good pitches, but he's a great hitter. And so I've just got to mix it well and locate. I've got to execute and go out there and do what I do and let the defense work behind me.
Hey, Doug, you are 6'8", okay? When you pitch against the Twins or whenever you pitch, you remind me so much of Jim Palmer with your as high as you are and able to create that downward plane. Has he influenced you at all growing up?
I've definitely watched, some older film like that and trying to pick up some certain things. Using the height is a big thing for me. Obviously, I don't throw as hard as some guys do, and I think that's one of the things that I really have to focus on is really executing to get that downhill plane, because it definitely helps keep the hitters on their toes when I do use the plane.
When you got traded from Seattle to Detroit, in Seattle, I'm sorry, you didn't get any run support whatsoever. When you came over to Detroit, all of a sudden you got some run support. What a difference, huh?
It's definitely a great thing for me to be here. I feel so honored to be number one, a part of the staff here, but having the hitters we have here is a great thing to watch day in and day out. Whether it's Miggy or Prince over there, they put on such a show, and it's never just one guy. If someone's not getting it done, there's always a couple of guys right behind him that pick them up, and I think that's goes right along with our pitching staff. Our hitters have that family atmosphere around this clubhouse, and yeah, we give each other hard times, but man, we're right there to protect one another too.
Hey, you guys are leading the world in strikeouts. You just saw Sanibel Sanchez strike out his third batter, but is there like competition there? How many strikeouts? You guys are going to strike out like the world? What's going on with you guys?
I think we're going after the most outs in a row type thing. That's the biggest thing for us, is just going out there and putting up zeros. Obviously we talked about our offense, and we want to get those guys back in here and get them to the plate. We want to get off of defense as soon as possible and just keep that momentum going.
Two away here, bottom half of the third. Joe Mauer at the plate, and Mauer lined out to center field his first time up. Again, we are speaking with Doug Fister, tomorrow starter for the Tigers. And Doug, there has been talk about potentially 4 starters from the Tigers making the All-Star team. What would it mean to you guys if that could come through?
I think we've all, we hope for, the opportunity to play for, the All-Star team and represent our league. But, for us as a staff to be able to go in, I think that would be, I don't think that's ever happened before, and I think that would be something that's very honorable and just a very humbling experience for us if we could do that. It would definitely bring us together.
A 4-pitch walk issued here to Joe Mauer, and you do realize, Doug, that your manager at the other end of the dugout, he's the guy who makes those decisions, so you may want to be nice to him.
He's Leland is one of those managers that every guy wants to play for. He's right there. We've got your back, and he trusts you. He knows if you say you're good, you're good, and he takes your word for it. And he's shown a lot of that to a lot of our guys.
Well, Doug, we appreciate you taking the time here talking with us. You're starting tomorrow against P.J. Walters. Good luck, and thanks again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Doug. Thanks, guys.
2 away here, bottom half of the third. Mauer on at first after the walk, and Ryan Domit at the plate behind in the count. No balls and 1 strike. How incredible would that be if you could have 4 starters, 4 starting pitchers on the All-Star team?
Kind of says about the organization, what the Tigers have been able to do. Not only, their win-loss record, 4.5-game lead over the Indians, but just what all these pitchers have done. Rick Porcello, 7 shutout innings last night.
Fastball misses low and outside.
Wins in this series, they will see. Of course, Sanchez here this afternoon. Fister tomorrow. You have to miss Scherzer, who's 9-0, and you have to miss Verlander. Boy, that's a shame, isn't it? But you still have to face Porcello, 7 shutout innings. Sanchez, he's been tough. And then Fister. not easy to have to play the Tigers.
3 balls and 1 strike here to Domet with 2 outs. And it's funny, you know, with the offense that Detroit has, as a fan, you think, I want to watch these guys hit. But there's also that element that, man, I can't wait to see who's pitching the next day to watch them and what they're going to do. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Domet, the 3-1. Opposite field. Andy Dirks, late break coming in. That'll drop in. Going to third base as Maurer. The throw comes to second. And Domet is out at second to end the inning.
He made a commitment. He did not stick to it. Domet tried to stretch that single into a double and is tagged out here to end the bottom of the third.
There is the tag. He is clearly out. We've got Cabrera and Fielder due up to start the fourth. Presented by Ace Hardware, is sponsored by Chevrolet, find new roads, and by AT&T, rethink possible. We go to the top of the fourth inning here on a beautiful night in downtown Minneapolis at Target Field. Andy Dirks with the outfield assist to end the bottom half of the third inning. And now it's 3-4-5. That dreaded heart of the order for the Tigers: Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, Victor Martinez. And Cabrera fouls back the first pitch.
Let's take a look at the play. That last Dirks comes in. The ball kind of hit off the end of the bat. One hops Infante tagging out Domet. Well, that's a play right there. You got to make sure you get to second for sure. And Domet kind of took the risk of trying to advance. There's Doduno, effectively wild, went inside to Cabrera and got a piece of him. Ball running inside. And Cabrera being hit by a pitch. The fourth hit batsman by Doduno. The other three came in one game, and that against the Milwaukee Brewers here back in late May.
It's the fourth time Cabrera's been hit by a pitch this year, and now Prince Fielder at the plate. Fielder ground out to second base his first time up. And now Fielder asks for time. By the way, in the clubhouse yesterday before the game, Fielder's walking around in a t-shirt. His arms are as big as many people's legs.
He's a big man, big, strong man.
First pitch swinging, lines one fouled on a left fielder.
That's what Scott Diamond was talking about. He's very quick with his hands. You know, he's one of these hitters that what hurt Diamond was he fell behind on Prince Fielder in the 6th inning, 2-0, and then Fielder kind of threw a breaking ball, and Fielder quickly hit that ball off the wall in center field for the 2-run double. Put the Tigers up.
The 0-1. Outside with the fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. And what's really interesting about this Tigers team and how Fielder is here, you think about it, Victor Martinez on deck. Had he not gotten injured before last year, Prince Fielder is not a Detroit Tiger. It's almost like you go back years ago. If Aaron Boone doesn't get hurt playing basketball, Alex Rodriguez is not a New York Yankee.
Right. So funny how the game works out from time to time.
Fielder rips one foul.
There's some quickness right there. Tried to go inside, and Fielder opened up quickly. Pretty steady at the plate. Not a lot of bat movement. But once that ball is delivered toward home plate, boy, quick wrist, very strong.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Fielder.
272 career home runs for Fielder.
And Fielder inside outs this one to left center field. Cabrera is going to take the turn and go for third, and he will be in there. So Miguel Cabrera, everyone talks about his offense. Some people talk about some of his defense. How about the hustle on the bases right there?
How about the big man? How did he hit this ball right here? That ball was down. And unbelievable. Watch the location of this pitch. That ball's almost Gomez trying to catch it in the dirt. And Fielder hits it right off the end of the bat, almost a little cue shot over the head of Florimon. Hey, and Cabrera seeing that, he hustles from first to third. Good base running by the big man also. Got a couple big men over there. And Cabrera hustling into third.
So now runners on the corners, nobody out here in the 4th, and Victor Martinez at the plate. Martinez grounded out to third base his first time up. First pitch swinging, fouls one off on the breaking ball. 0-1. Second consecutive inning, the Tigers have had a scoring opportunity. They had a runner thrown out at the plate in the 3rd, and a nice play by Pedro Florimon cut down Don Kelly.
Justin, you mentioned, Martinez missed all of last year, had 2 surgeries on that left knee, the ACL. It's going to take a while, and Jim Leland talked about that, to find that groove again for Martinez. He's been a good hitter from both sides of the plate, starting with the Indians back in 2002.
That pitch just missing. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Martinez.
Martinez came up with the Indians, also spent some time with the Boston Red Sox in his 3rd season with the Tigers. He's a career 300 hitter, 303 coming into this year. Over 300 from both sides of the plate. 304 as a left-handed hitter, 302 as a right-handed hitter. You cannot take a whole year off and expect to have those same type numbers.
1-1 is pulled to first. Morneau checks Cabrera back at third and takes to the bag himself. 1 away. Let's check back on Matt Vasgersian for a game break.
Justin, Nationals and Indians, rough start for Scott Kazmir, who began the night by allowing as many home runs as he recorded outs. Ian Desmond's 9th of the year with the Nationals, 3rd in an inning plus. Kazmir done after 2 1/3, 5-0 Nats early. Back to you and Bert.
Well, not the start that Scott Kazmir was hoping for. Here in Minnesota, Detroit is now 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Runners on at 2nd and 3rd right now for Johnny Peralta. And the infield is back. So, okay, let me ask this question. You see the Twins a lot. In the 3rd inning, we saw the infield in. It was the bottom of the order. Is the infield back now because you got a guy like Peralta who's hitting .333 on the year?
I think, that's up to the manager, Ron Gardenhire, to see when to bring him in, when not to. Now, Doduno has 1 strikeout, and that was Peralta to end the 2nd inning. Can he do it again with runners at 2nd and 3rd?
1-0, just misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Doduno, 50th pitch coming up.
Now, when the infield was in the third inning, it was Avila at the plate. Now Peralta, a guy that can drive the ball a little bit more. The Twins right now would say, you know what, we'll take an out and maybe score a run, but we want the out right here with one out.
2-0, good breaking ball.
Deduno, good fastball, sinker. Now this is a nasty slider. Domit making a nice catch.
Gardenhire said Deduno will throw any pitch in any count. Peralta not looking for a slider on a 2-0 pitch. And now the 2-1. Popped up, foul into the seats first base side. Now it's 2-2.
Peralta may have missed his pitch right there. That was a slider that stayed up. Now Deduno even with the count. I always think if you throw a hitter 4 or 5 pitches, there's a pitch they should have driven somewhere. He got underneath that to create that foul ball out.
Deduno looking for another strikeout. The 2-2. Broken bat up the middle. That will score one. Here comes Fielder. And Fielder will score a 2-run broken bat single by Johnny Peralta, and the Tigers lead 2-0.
Boy, he got jammed right there. The barrel of the bat went out to the pitcher's mound. Going inside, and Peralta getting the barrel of the bat out quickly as the bat shatters in his hand, and the ball ends up going up the middle. Cabrera scores. Fielder scores.
And Peralta, because it was a broken bat, it was hit soft enough that Fielder was able to score without a throw. So one away, runner on first. Now Don Kelly at the plate. Kelly doubled his first time up. Takes a swing of the fastball. No balls and 1 strike.
As I mentioned in Kelly's first at bat, Deduno's only given up 1 home run, and that was a 2-run home run to Don Kelly back in when Deduno faced Sanchez back on May 24th. Deduno lost that ball game 6-0 on Sanchez's 1-hitter.
Kelly to center field. Cleet Thomas late break comes in to make the catch, and going back to first is Peralta. The Prostate Cancer Home Run Challenge has raised more than $40 million in the last 17 years for research and treatment for prostate cancer. Tonight, every home run in this game raises $12,500 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Pretty amazing. $40 million.
It's a great program. And men out there, Father's Day tomorrow. Got to go through it, guys. Get it checked out.
First pitch to Omar Infante is taken for a strike. And by the way, happy early Father's Day to all you dads out there. Good way to spend it would be to go to a ballpark or watch the U.S. Open.
I'll pick the ballpark, even though we'll watch the U.S. Open while we're at the ballpark.
Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
56 pitches for Deduno. This is his 17th pitch, his 19th pitch of the inning. Coming up. First 3 innings, very good. 38 pitches in the first 3 innings. Rick Anderson looking on to Deduno.
Up and in, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And another one effectively wild. That's what kind of started this inning when he hit Cabrera with the pitch that I'm sure he wanted out over the plate. You see where Domit's setting, and the ball's inside. When he faced the Milwaukee Brewers here in his first win in his second start coming up from the minor leagues, the Brewer players after the game said, we didn't feel comfortable standing up there because if he doesn't know where the ball's going, how do we try to hit that pitch?
This one gets away from Domit. Peralta down to second base.
Yeah, that's the first wild pitch by Deduno. Believe it or not, this is his 5th start. That ball kind of short hopped. Domit kind of reaching out, trying to backhand it. A ball that Domit probably should have tried to get in front of. But instead, with 2 outs, now Peralta has a chance to get in the scoring position. But a wild pitch will be charged. Duduno's first.
And Fonte with 21 RBIs on the year, trying to give his team a 3-0 lead. The 2-2. Off the end of the bat, shallow center field. Back there is Dozier on the outfield grass to make the catch, and that will do it. But Johnny Peralta comes through the broken bat single up the middle. That scored Cabrera and Fielder. It's 2-0 Detroit. Two 2-0 bottom half of the fourth. Justin Morneau leading off against Sanchez, and he rolls one over on the changeup. No balls and 1 strike. Time now for the Own Your Space Pitcher Profile, brought to you by Avis. It's Anibal Sanchez. What he's done on the road this season. The 1 loss isn't there, but not a bad ERA.
Yeah, pretty good ERA, 3.97. All 3 home runs allowed have come on the road, but at Comerica Park, he's 5-1 with a 1.64 ERA. So he's definitely enjoyed pitching at home. Sometimes that comes down to, no run support on the road. But hey, he's part of a very good 5-horseman staff.
So
unbelievable.
Looking down the line a long way. Again, it is only June 15th right now, but looking down the road, maybe if they're in the playoffs, he starts the game at home as opposed to on the road.
That could be. I mean, that's going to be up to Jim Leland and Jones, the pitching coach. But my goodness, when you have 5 guys to pick from, okay, not too many clubs have that opportunity.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Morneau, who struck out his first time up. The 1-2 down low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Sanchez, 29 years old, from Venezuela. This is his 2nd season with the Tigers. He got traded over from the Miami Marlins last year. But what he does is he gets to that balance point, and no matter who you are, you want to get right there. You see a little turn, almost, where he turns his hip towards second base, and that kind of squares him up to be able to deliver everything toward home plate.
Morneau goes the other way and lines a leadoff single. Time now for a game break. Let's check in once again with Matt Vesgersen.
Justin, Astros and White Sox. Chris Carter started the day 1 for his last 17 with 7 punch-outs, but did he square up John Danks this afternoon, or his 14th of the year? It's 3-1 Astros. Back to you and Bert.
Talk about all or nothing. That is Chris Carter. And when he gets all of it, he gets all of it.
He is one strong man.
Tigers in first place here in the Central. After a leadoff single, Oswaldo Arcia takes the first pitch for a ball.
Remember when Doman got thrown out at second base? That's a mistake only because of who was on deck. Justin Morneau leading the club in runs batted in. And what does he do in the fourth inning? First batter gets a base hit. That's why you don't want to make that final out when you have, your RBI guy coming up.
As a player, how aware are you of that situation? If you're that guy and you get that base hit?
Well, I was never a good hitter, so I always hit ninth.
2 balls and no strikes.
I was looking for a place to where I could sit on the bench after I made the out. But no, I mean, there are certain things in the game, that's just a base running mistake that Ryan Doman, if you asked him, he said, boy, I probably shouldn't have made that. I had the big turn. I should have probably come back to first. He went too far and he already committed himself. And then he was, tagged out by Infante for the final out.
The 2-1-2 Arcia on the outside corner, 2-2.
Good changeup right there by Sanchez. Tough time getting that leadoff hitter out. 3 of the 4 innings so far, that leadoff hitter's been able to get on base via base hit or a walk.
2-2. In the air to right field, Don Kelly comes in a couple steps, makes the catch, and Morneau goes back to first. Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, is celebrating a new season for new memories. For your chance to win a community field makeover and an all-new 2014 Impala, visit ChevyBaseball.com. One out now for Trevor Plouffe, who walked his first time up. Plouffe takes the first pitch in their first strike. Activated today off the DL. Was on the DL with a strained left calf to make room for Plouffe. Chris Herman, the third catcher, was optioned down at AAA Rochester.
That's one thing Ron Gardenhire said. He wants, that third catcher.
Now Plouffe gets into one to left center, and he's going to have to settle for a guy who hits home runs at third base instead.
Only the 4th home run hit allowed by Sanchez, the first right-handed batter, and Trevor Plouffe on his birthday.
Happy 27th. There's home run number 5 on the year.
Not a bad pitch down. Looked like it came back a little bit. Plouffe hitting it into the left field bleachers. That's a tie ball game. Again, Plouffe, who hit 24 home runs last year. That's what Gardy's hoping for, is that long ball. Get me some quick runs.
Those 2 quick runs have tied the game up. And now Chris Parmelee is at the plate ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Parmelee skies one to shallow left field. Andy Dirks coming in. And that is the second out here of the inning. You know what? That's actually awesome. Your birthday, you hit a home run. That's really cool.
It's a lot better to celebrate a birthday like that rather than maybe going 0 for 4 and punching out 4 times.
I tell you what, I've got a rule. I will not play golf on my birthday.
You're that bad, huh?
I just know that if there's a very good chance I could have a bad round, that'll ruin my day. No balls and 1 strike to count here to Dozier.
Well, just to let you know, my birthday's 296 days away on April 6th. I've pitched on my birthday. I've had some good birthdays and not so good birthdays.
Breaking ball misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Is there one birthday that you remember more than others from a game that you pitched well?
Well, I'm 62 years old, so I can only remember my last one. No, I cannot, honestly. You know what I looked at? I pitched almost 700 games at the major league level, and I looked at every one as a birthday. You know, it was my world. Everybody else just passing through that day that I pitched. So that was my special day, whether it's April 6th or October 15th in the World Series.
1-2's in the dirt. By the way, I think the World Series may take precedent over pitching on your birthday. Just think.
Maybe a little bit.
You know, that April 6th, first week of the season versus the last week of the season.
Well, Brian Dozier, the Twins are looking a little more offense out of that number 8 and 9 spot in the lineup, too. That has been a struggle. We already showed you as a leadoff hitters, they're hitting 171. And that number 8 and 9 hitters, they're around 220. So it's a ball club that, yeah, there's some young talented kids in there like Dozier and Florimon, but offensively they have not really produced to get the club where they want to be, and that's closer to the Tigers in the race.
Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. The clown here to Dozier.
They're the 8 and 9 hitters this season.
We already showed you the leadoff hitters.
And a .211 batting average, as Tom Kelly would say. That's unacceptable.
Another 3-2. Missing inside, ball 4.
Yeah, 4th walk by Sanchez here this afternoon.
So a 2-out walk issued here to Dozier, and that brings up Pedro Florimon. And Jim Leland, top step of the dugout. He's going to come out. There is some action in the bullpen for the Tigers.
Now, only one other start Sanchez walked for, and that was a game in Oakland back in the middle of April. Sanchez was 71 pitches, 41 strikes.
Darren Downs is throwing out there in the pen. 22 pitches this inning here for Sanchez.
Jim Leland does this a lot. A lot of times you'll see the manager, rather than the pitching coach, go out there and kind of make a point. You know, he wants to know exactly from Sanchez. How are you feeling? Listen, if your shoulder's bothering a little bit, be honest with me. And that's all you can want as a manager from your players.
Were you honest with
I
your
was very honest. I never wanted to come out of the game. First of all, I would say, what are you doing out here?
Get back in.
Please. No, you respect your manager, and believe me, everybody in this ballpark respects. As for your Tiger, you respect Jim Leland. In a Twins uniform, you respect Ron Gardenhire. They are the captains of the ship.
And Florimon rips one to right field. Dozier heads to third. Runners on the corners. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th.
Well, Dozier is Florimon, a very good low ball hitter, and that's exactly where that pitch was right there. Just below the knees, and Florimon went down and hit that ball sharply into right field. Dozier scoots over the third.
You've got Cleet Thomas coming up here. Thomas, a lefty. You've got Joe Mauer on deck, a lefty. Ryan Domit, a switch hitter, and the lefty in the bullpen is Darren Downs warming up.
Well, this trip by Avila just might be a little delay tactic to allow Downs, who I didn't see get up really up until we really showed him. So might give Downs some more pitches down there. Make sure he gets good and loose.
By the way, nice use of Downs and down there. I like that.
Thank you.
All right, so now Bob Davidson comes out. All right, boys, what's going on?
Jones right there with the phone. They want to hear that he's, ready to go. He gets 8 pitches when he comes out to the mound, too.
Can you hear me now?
He's ready.
Yep.
Here comes Jim Leland.
And that will be it for Sanchez. With 2 outs here in the 4th, we've got a pitching change, with the Twins threatening 1st and 3rd. Sanchez faced these Twins. He went 9 innings, giving up 1 hit, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. Did not have the same success here tonight as Darren Downs comes in out of the bullpen, making his 19th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.13 ERA, 7 walks, 27 strikeouts in 23 innings. And he will face Clete Thomas, a lefty, with 2 outs and runners on first and third.
Well, I'm going to say that Sanchez, he had 11 days between starts. I'm going to guess that shoulder's still bothering him a little bit. 72 pitches, a lot of pitches in 3 3/4 innings. You know, not too often does a Detroit Tigers starter can't get through the 4th inning. Second time this season that Sanchez has had a short start. The other one coming in Texas, but that's Texas against that ball club. A lot of people have short starts against that offense.
Good pitch right there by Darren Downs. And it's no balls and 2 strikes here to Clete Thomas.
Yeah, Downs has all 4 pitches: sinking fastball, a 12-6 type curveball, a changeup, and that slider. In baseball today they call it a cutter, but it's basically a slider. Avila sitting outside.
0-2, got him swinging to end the inning. 2 men are left on base. Downs does his job, but Trevor Plouffe on his birthday does his job. A 2-run homer to tie it up at 2. Fifth, 9-1-2 in the order for Detroit to face Samuel Deduno. Now in a tie ball game, 2-2, as both teams scored 2 runs in the 4th inning. Alex Avila reaching the fielder's choice his first time up. That's when Don Kelly was thrown out at the plate. And the first pitch changeup is taken for a ball, 1-0.
Well, as a pitcher, believe me, you give up a couple runs and then your team scores you the 2 back. You go out there in a 0-0 ball game. That's the way you have to think, and that's what Deduno, he wants to put another 0 on the board right here.
Good pitch in underneath the hands of Avila, and it's 1-1. Alex Avila having a rough go of it this year. 166, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs coming into this game. One ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he took an 0 for 4 last night, but he said, you know what, I'll take an 0 for 4 if I can catch a shutout. That's exactly what he did. You know, catchers are that way. Avila doesn't want to hit like he's hitting right now. He wants to hit the ball sharply somewhere. But he's a .261 career hitter and just hasn't found his groove yet. It's tough when you lose your groove.
I know it. I had that happen today playing golf. Never found it. It's terrible.
So you played before the rain came.
Yes.
Now it's a beautiful evening.
Beautiful, beautiful night here in Minnesota. This is actually one of my favorite cities in the country, Minneapolis. It's beautiful.
Mine too.
Backdoor breaking ball gets Avila looking. That is the second strikeout of the game for Samuel DeDuno. Let's take a look at the Fox Sports 1 pitching comparison presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August 17th.
Well, with Sanchez only going 3 2/3 innings, that stops a streak of 14 consecutive starts by the Tiger pitching staff for quality starts.
Starts Austin Jackson off with a breaking ball, 0-1. Jackson singled his first time up. Singled his last time up. Flew out his first time up. And he singles his third time up. He's now 2 for 3.
Yeah, left a breaking ball up right there. DeDuno gives up his 5th hit, the second to Jackson. Just made a good slider down and then tries it again. And Jackson waiting on it, lines it right up the middle. Sort of speedy Jackson on at first base. That's a fastball. I thought it had some break to it. Jackson with 5 stolen bases. It's one thing that Tigers don't do, either these clubs. They don't run a lot. Tigers with 19 stolen bases in 24 attempts.
Change up to Andy Dirks' first strike. Dirks is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, both to second. He has a hit in 9 of his last 10 games, now batting .248 on the season.
DeDuno making just his 20th major league start. 8 wins, 6 losses. Jackson getting back.
DeDuno pitched in the World Baseball Classic this March for the Dominican Republic. Actually got the win in the championship game, but in that game he also suffered a groin injury, which then sidelined him for almost the first month of the year.
Yeah, he went down to the minor leagues, finally came up in May and really has pitched very well for the Twins.
Ground ball to second. They get the out at second on the runner, and the throw to first, a double play. A 4-4-3 DP turned by Brian Dozier. 2-2 ball game here in the 5th. You're watching Baseball Night in America, presented by Ace Hardware. Is sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Bottom half of the fifth, 2-2 ball game here at beautiful Target Field in Minneapolis. It was raining earlier, but now it is a clear blue sky night. Joe Mauer walked his last time up, was stranded at third base to end the third inning. And he takes the first pitch from Darren Downs for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, Downs taking over for Sanchez with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Struck out Clete Thomas on 3 pitches. Now starts here in the bottom of the 5th.
The 1-0 is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. I tell you what, Darren Downs out of the bullpen has a lot of movement on his pitches.
Well, he's a guy that came up a little bit last year. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, signed originally by the Cubs back in 2003. Getting his first call up last year by the Tigers. 6'3". Long arm. When I mean long arm, really brings that arm back and then almost slings it toward home plate. Made his major league debut in relief against the Twins back on July 3rd of last year.
3-0. Mauer is taken all the way, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Joe Mauer is so patient at the plate. He participated in the World Baseball Classic and did a game with Tom Verducci a few weeks ago, and he said that the players were most impressed, the teammates, with Joe Mauer and David Wright. And why are they impressed with Joe Mauer? Well, because of this. A .323 career average as a catcher, a 3-time American League batting champion. And just for good measure, he can also play some defense. And oh yeah, don't forget about the MVP in 2009.
What's amazing is the 3 batting championships. I mean, you're talking about a catcher, a guy that gets beat up night after night. And here he is, you know, looking for number 4 in his career. His 10th season with the Twins.
And he was offered a full ride to be the quarterback at Florida State. I mean, that's not some podunk football program. Instead, he gets drafted by the Twins, his hometown team.
Yep. Born in St. Paul back in 1983. Twins' #1 pick in 2001. #1 overall.
Fly ball to center field. Austin Jackson with a good jump, and there's 1 away here in the 5th. So after all that, he flies out. Come on, Joe.
Oh, he'll get his hits, believe me.
I don't think anybody's worried. One away now for Ryan Domit. Domit singled in the 3rd, was thrown out, trying to stretch that single into a double. That ended the inning.
Ryan Domit now hitting as a right-handed hitter. Switch hitting catcher, outfielder, first baseman. In his 2nd season with the Twins. Comes into this at-bat hitting .228 from the right side. One of his 8 home runs as a right-handed hitter.
Just missing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count here to Domit. Bottom half of the 5th, 2-2 ball game. Justin Kutcher alongside Burt Blyleven here from Target Field in Minneapolis. Both teams getting 2 runs in the 4th inning. And now a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, we talked earlier about the starting staff for the Tigers, how good they are, how many consistent starts they had, quality starts, 19 in the last 20. Don't want to be a long man in the bullpen for the Tigers. You'll never get the pitch.
1-2 in the dirt. Domit down swinging, and Avila throws down to first base for a strikeout. 2-3. That's the 2nd strikeout already for Darren Downs. The Fox Sports 1 fan cam caught fans here at the ballpark who are very excited about Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network. It's coming this August 17th. I thought I saw you out there doing that.
#1, baby, #1. TC Bears even says #1.
Mamas, don't let
2 away now for Justin Morneau. And Morneau takes the breaking ball for ball 1. Morneau singled leading off the 4th, came around to score on the 2-run home run by Trevor Plouffe. Foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, talking about Justin Morneau, and at the top of this broadcast, we mentioned the fact that he has good numbers offensively with a batting average, the RBIs, but just 2 home runs. Could not hold up, and he foul tipped the ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. How about 3 things you need to know about Justin Morneau? Well, he wears number 33 because of Patrick Waugh. Apparently, he's a big AC/DC fan. I'm wondering if that was for his first dance. And he was roommates with Joe Mauer. Off the end of the bat to right center. Drops in for his 2nd hit of the night. A wide turn, but he'll hold up there at first.
Well, one thing Justin's been able to do, and pretty good numbers against left-handed pitchers. He hangs in there tough. Hitting .275 against lefties coming into this at-bat. Right off the end of the bat, hit softly into right center. Justin picks up his 2nd hit. See, that's what you're talking about. I mean, right there, that's a breaking ball. And Justin, when he's got that power, that ball's hit a long way. Off the end of the bat, not missing by much, but gets his 2nd hit. For the Twins, their 6th hit of the ball game. Watch his concentration.
You see those eyes? Yeah. All of a sudden, the bug eyes, they lit up. In the dirt here to Oswaldo Arcia. Arcia's 0 for 1, walked and flew out to right field. 265, 4 homers, 15 RBIs. You know, you think about this 3-4 in the order for the Tigers and Cabrera and Fielder. You go back a few years, it was the M&M boys here in Minnesota with Mauer and Morneau. And now a ground ball is short. Peralta to first base, and that'll do it here in the 5th. No runs on 1 hit, 1 man left on. We're through 5 complete here at Target Field, and we're all tied up at 2. Today's telecast is sponsored by Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of Major League Baseball. And by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. Top of the 6th, Miguel Cabrera leading things off against Samuel Deduno. And the first pitch breaking ball is in there for a strike, 0-1. Cabrera was hit by a pitch his last time up, came around to score on the 2-run single by Peralta. 0-1 inside out at 0-2. And that knocked over a beverage.
Oh, no, that's the worst.
He's so good, even when he fouls a ball off, he does something.
You know, Cabrera, and just watch him over the years, there's no one certain way to pitch this guy. There was a breaking ball that hung right there on an 0-2 pitch, too good a pitch, and Cabrera lined it into the crowd down in the left field corner.
Unless you have a glove in the stands when Cabrera and Fielder are up, duck. Don't be a hero. Otherwise, you may need some bear. Staying alive is Cabrera, still behind on the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you see where Cabrera got hit. There's no sleeves on. He did not have any sleeves on. I don't know if it's getting cooler down there, but in this at bat, he came up. There's that sleeve on that right arm. He added another sleeve to the left arm.
Cabrera going to right field. Parmalee on the track by the wall, comes in to make the catch. One away here in the 6-2 ball game. Justin Kutcher alongside Burt Blyleven. And really, if you look at this game, the job that DeDuno has done for the Twins, it's been huge.
He's pitching like he did against the Brewers. He's pitched very well here in the second start at Target Field. Now, we did talk about our ties, and I kind of like your tie. I don't have a tie like that, and now I know why.
Fielder rips one down the right field line. That'll go for extra bases. Prince Fielder will hold up at second base with a 1-out double. That is his 18th double of the season.
Well, Scott Diamond again talked about the quickness of the bat of Fielder and waited back nicely, hit it right down that first baseline between Justin Morneau and that first base bag. Justin diving for it, but into that corner. So Fielder a 1-out double.
Runner in scoring position now here for Victor Martinez.
For the Tigers, their 6th hit of the ball game.
Martinez 0 for 2. 2 ground outs, 1 to third, 1 to first. And you look at Martinez and the numbers this year, and you talked about it, Bert, the fact that he missed all of last year, and it's hard to come back and put up the numbers where he was 302 from one side, 304 from the other side. But it just seems like this year, in these situations, he's pressing a little bit. Not the Victor Martinez that everyone has been accustomed to seeing over the course of his career.
And that's what Jim Leyland talked about. You know, he just needs to relax a little bit.
Skies one to center field. Fielder going back just to draw a throw. And there are 2 away. Well, get ready, fans, for Fox Sports 1, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports. All the news and highlights you want, and shows and specials that only Fox could bring you. America's new sports network. It's Fox Sports 1, and it's coming August 17th.
I found it interesting what Jim Leyland told us about Martinez, or a lot of their players, Justin, was that they take a lot of batting practice. I mean, you know, they go underneath, they hit off the tee, they take batting practice, they come in, maybe get something to eat, they go back, hit more. You know, these guys want to be the best when they're ready for the game, but Jim Leyland made it almost sound like they're taking too much. They're not really relaxing and enjoying the clubhouse.
Good breaking ball right there to start off Johnny Peralta. Peralta had the 2-run single in the 4th, a broken bat single up the middle. It was a good pitch by DeDuno. And now he's trying to give his team the lead once again. Low and outside, picked out by Doman.
Had a chance to talk to Mauer, and now Chris Herman, I know, was sent down today when Trevor Plouffe was activated. He's a catcher, 3rd string catcher for the Twins. Also Ryan Doman, about trying to catch DeDuno, because sometimes you'll say fastball away and it'll be up and in. You'll say fastball inside and it'll be away. He's not the easiest guy to try to catch.
Change up is down low. 2 balls and a strike. Just looking around this ballpark, it really is beautiful. They did a fantastic job.
This was built on only 12 acres. How they compacted this stadium into this little hole they had here.
This is 12 acres. The U.S. Open at Marion, I think 111 acres.
They have drawn very well here. A lot of great Twin fans in the Tri-State area.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second, and a 2-2 ball game. Slider gets away from Domit, and Fielder holds up at second.
Well, that's what I was talking about right there. You know, I mean, you're calling a slider, but watch this ball just keep breaking. And again, Domit tried to get in front of that ball, ricocheted over to his right, and Fielder does stay at second base.
So 3-2 now the count with Don Kelly on deck. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball missing inside, ball 4. So it's first and second with 2 outs for Don Kelly.
First walk by Deduno. I don't think he wanted to make a mistake right there to a guy that just drove in the 2 runs. Tried to go almost a backdoor breaking ball and missed inside.
Well, now he faces Don Kelly, who's hit the ball well 2 times. Once off the top of the wall in right field, then flew out to center field his last time up. And Kelly, first pitch swinging, pulls one foul. You know who Don Kelly's brother-in-law is?
No, I do not.
Neil Walker of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Don Kelly playing right field. He was actually the starting third baseman for the Erie Seawolves in 2005 when Justin Verlander was a pitcher there. And all of a sudden he comes to the big leagues and he's a utility guy and he's playing all the outfield positions.
He's quick. I mean, you know, you look at him, he's 6'4", about 190. Good stuff. He's one of these guys that you want as your 4th and 5th outfielder, and that's why he's here.
He's also one of the nicest guys in all of baseball. 1-1. Did he check his swing? The appeal to third. He did not go, says John Hersbeck. So 2 balls and 1 strike.
This is what the third base umpire sees, and Kelly held up.
That's a big difference. 2-1 versus 1-2. And you see what he's done this year with runners in scoring position. Gotta love that from your 4th or 5th outfielder. 2 1s in the dirt. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Okay, so you've got first and second, 2 outs, tie game 3-1. We've said it before, Deduno will throw any pitch and any count, so what do you think he's going with here?
You don't throw a cookie right here. You don't want Kelly to swing down, you know, make a mistake right here, 3-1.
You think he's going breaking ball?
They go breaking ball. Infante on deck.
It's a fastball pulled through the hole on the right side. Fielder being waved around. Parmley's thrown to the plate, and he is out. Second time tonight, the Tigers have had a runner thrown out at the plate.
And Fielder saying, no, I got to cross the plate first.
And Jim Leland's out to argue it's also the second time tonight the throw beat the runner, but the runner may have slid in before the tag.
Well, we'll get a chance. Parmley, good strong throw. Domit gets the ball. And I think Fielder was right. I believe he got his foot on the bag.
I think he's safe there. It doesn't matter. It's 2-2 as we go to the bottom half of the 6th. Bottom half of the 6th inning. We're still tied at 2.
Yeah, second time Ryan Doman has tagged out a potential runner at home plate.
Trevor Plouffe takes the first pitch outside. This is the play that ended the last inning. We both thought he was safe, and on another look.
Well, you can see that the left foot goes over home plate, never actually touched it. Now did the right foot actually slide in. And great job by the camera crew.
Watch
Getting this picture right here. Look at that. His right foot never touched the plate as Doman gets the tag out of home plate.
Give a lot of credit, too, to Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, making this call.
Tuno's saying, yes, great plays for the second time in a ball game.
2 balls, 1 strike here to Plouffe, who homered his last at bat. Fouls this one off the mask of Alex Avila. 2-2. But that's 2 runners cut down at the plate by the Twins here tonight.
Yeah, Florimon in the 3rd inning threw out Kelly trying to score, and then we just saw Prince Fielder trying to score, getting tagged out at home plate.
2-2 is pulled into left field. Dirks going over, trying to cut it off. Plouffe heading for second, and he will be in there with a double. How about the day he's having on his 27th birthday? A walk, a 2-run homer, and now a leadoff double.
Well, if I'm Trevor Plouffe and you see the swing that he had not only on the home run but also on that pitch right there that came back over the plate, every day is my birthday. I come to the ballpark and I say, you know what, tomorrow when he comes here, it's his birthday. What a nice swing right there. The leg coming up, kept those hands back nicely. Good solid contact. A double for Plouffe to go with his 2-run home run, his 10th double of the year.
Now Chris Parmelee at the plate. Do you look for a bunt here? Cabrera playing in at third base. Now bunting, takes the first pitch for a strike.
Well, you have to know your players. You know what Parmelee needs to do right here is hit a ground ball toward the right side of the field. No sacrifice. Gardy, managers know their players. What they can do, what they can't do. Can he bunt? Maybe not, because Parmelee is getting the opportunity to swing away here.
Lofts one over
trouble.
the head of Peralta to left field. Dirks will come up throwing. And he's able to hold Plouffe to third.
See, Parmelee does not have a sacrifice on the year. Maybe Gardy's saying, you know what, let him swing away. Not a bad pitch.
That's like what Prince Fielder did before.
Right, exactly. Just dropping a barrel of the bat on a pitch down and away. Almost like a 15-love tennis shot over the head of Peralta in the short left field. Plouffe, of course, had to wait up. He had to wait to make sure that ball hit the grass, and it's a hit for Parmelee.
The hit. Morneau a single. Plouffe a double. Now Parmelee a single. And Brian Dozier at the plate. And Dozier takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. Dozier walked his last time up. Grounded into a double play back in the second. And at this point right now in the bottom half of the 6th, the Tigers would trade that run for a double play. This is pulled to the hole on the left side. An RBI single for Dozier. And the Twins go up 3-2. And still nobody out.
Well, looked like another breaking ball, and Dozier went down and hit that sharply between third and short. So Downs having a tough time getting an out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dozier picking up his 18th RBI, and the Twins take a 3-2 lead.
Evan Reed.
Now you might see a sacrifice from Florimon. He's really struggled as a right-handed hitter, where he's hitting only 111. Florimon with 2 sacrifices on the year.
Bullpen's busy now for Detroit with Evan Reed thrown. First and second, nobody out. Florimon squares around, pulls it back, and takes the pitch for a ball.
There's Evan Reed who's getting loose. Yeah, Florimon is a right-handed hitter, just 4 hits in 36 at-bats. So, hey, his job right here, lay down the ball, bunt the runners into scoring position. Parmalee at second, Dozier at first.
Fielder charging hard. The bunt is to third base. Cabrera throws to first. Sacrifice 5-4 as both men move up. Parmalee to second.
That is a great bunt right there. What you want to bunt that ball toward third base. Make Cabrera come in and field it, because it's easy for that second base runner, Parmalee. He can basically walk to third. Good bunt. Cabrera has to leave his third base position to come field the ball. Watch Parmalee right there. Nobody at third base. Great job by Florimon.
It reminds me of watching the Twins 5-6 years ago.
Do the little things to create runs, and the Twins have to do that. They have to do it on a consistent basis.
Now Clete Thomas steps in, struck out his last time up. Cues one off the end of the bat. Thomas was the first batter that Darren Downs faced in the game. That was in the 4th inning. Struck out to end the 4th.
And he struck him out on 3 pitches. The last couple, that breaking ball down and away. Downs with 2 strikeouts in the ball game.
Pulled. That is a foul ball. Just foul, says James Hoy at first base.
Scotty Alger, the first base coach, looking. Did that ball go over the bag? Even though it may have hit in foul territory after the bag, it's where it goes over that first base bag. Wow, that's close. James Hoy, the first base umpire, right there looking at it.
Infield is in with runners on second and third, 1 out. No balls, 2 strikes here to Thomas. The 0-2. Got him looking on the outside corner. Second time that Darren Downs has struck out Clete Thomas, and now they're 2 away.
Now this on a fastball, the previous on a breaking ball.
Let's take a look at the Fox Sports 1 game summary presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August 17th. A short outing for Anibal Sanchez, just 3 2/3. Johnny Peralta, the 2-run single in the 4th. Trevor Plouffe tied it up with a 2-run homer, also in the 4th. And now an RBI single by Brian Dozier here in this inning.
A nasty pitch, a pitcher's pitch right there, getting Thomas. And that's the 3rd time Thomas has struck out in the ball game.
So now Joe Mauer steps in, takes the first pitch fastball for a strike, and this is one of those big moments here for the Twins. You've got your guy at the plate in Mauer. Second and third, 2 outs, and you're up 1. You have a chance to break this game open here in the 6th.
Yeah, this is where Joe, you want to earn your money right here. He's hitting .250 in situations like this with runners in scoring position.
Fastball is inside, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now with that, brushing Mauer back a little bit. Do you go to that slider outside?
Good question. I don't know. I mean, I have first base open. This guy's a .330 career hitter. I'm going to be very careful. I may take my chances on Ryan Doumit as a right-handed hitter over facing, even though I'm a left-handed pitcher. I don't want to make a mistake right here. Deduno made a mistake to Kelly when he gave up that base hit, and there's a base hit by Joe Mauer.
There's a mistake. Parmalee scores. Here comes Dozier. The throw is not in time. Mauer to second, and that's a 2-run single for Joe Mauer.
That's definitely a mistake right there, because Mauer is such a good hitter. Twins put 3 on the board. There's fastball for strike 1. Tried to go inside, and then a breaking ball, and Joe, as he does so well, hits that ball to left field. 2 outs. Runners off with a crack of the bat. Parmalee scores. Dozier follows. Twins have a 5-2 lead.
A big, big hit for Joe Mauer brought this crowd to its feet, and now Ryan Doumit will step to the plate. He's 1 for 3. A single, a ground out, and a strikeout his last time up. First pitch swing, pulls it foul. No balls and 1 strike. Ron Gardenhire playing some small ball with that sacrifice bunt, getting 2 men in the scoring position. And his big guy, Joe Mauer, came through.
Well, these two teams see each other so much throughout the summer. 19 times the Twins play the Tigers, as the Twins play everybody in the division 19 times. Right now, this is the 12th game between these two ball clubs. Tigers have the advantage 7-4.
You even talked about the importance of this game. It may be June 15th, but you're playing the first place team in your division if you're the Twins. You don't want to fall 8.5, 9.5 games out at this point.
If they get swept in this series, that's what they would be.
A slow breaking ball, and Doumit strikes out to end the inning. But the
Should he have
Twins
faced
scored 3.
Doumit rather than Mauer?
Baseball Night in America will return to Minnesota after work from the local Fox station. Is presented by Ace Hardware. To the 7th we go here in Minneapolis. It's now a 5-2 Twins lead, as Samuel Deduno will face Omar Infante, Alex Avila, and Austin Jackson. And the first pitch fastball is on the outside corner for a strike. Breaking ball, pulled third base. Plouffe plants the foot, long throw. The happy birthday continues.
Nice play by Trevor Plouffe. Going to his right, he has to, maybe saving an extra base hit. You see how far he's off that line. Gets the second hop, turns and throws a P across the diamond to Morneau for the quick out.
One away here, and now Alex Avila will step to the plate. 89 pitches here through 6 1/3 for Samuel Deduno.
Deduno making his 5th start. He has 2 quality starts in his first 4 starts. Last time out, he pitched pretty good. He pitched 5 very good innings. He just threw too many pitches in that game 2 of the doubleheader against the Washington Nationals in Washington.
He's thrown a first pitch strike to 20 of the 27 batters he's faced so far in this game.
And that's so important. You know, that's one thing, one stat I think every pitcher looks at after a ball game for a starter. How many first pitch strikes did I get over the plate?
Ground ball to first, diving stop by Morneau, and they're 2 away. Time for the Just for Men auto stop foolproof stat. And while Samuel Deduno is pitching great right now, this is what the Tigers have to contend with if they knock him out and get to that bullpen of the Twins.
Well, the bullpen 2.87, best in the American League. Only a couple teams in the National League have a better combined earned run average. They've kept the ball in the ballpark too, but they have pitched a lot of innings because of the non-quality starts the staff has had. But right now, this is a quality start, and it's a good one for Samuel Deduno. Good defensive plays here this afternoon. Morneau, you see that ball come up. Deduno there covering the bag for the second out.
Austin Jackson, hard hit to shortstop. Florimone. That's 3 nice plays in the inning, and that's a quick inning for Samuel Deduno. 5 pitches. Time to stretch him out here in Minneapolis. Presented by Ace Hardware is sponsored by Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. Join us out here. And by Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. Bottom of the 7th. Justin Morneau will face a new pitcher in the game here for the Detroit Tigers. It is the right-hander Evan Reed on the season. This is just his 3rd game, a 2.25 ERA and 4 innings pitched.
Yeah, Reed making just his 3rd major league appearance. Claimed off waivers by the Tigers from the Miami Marlins back on April 3rd. Sent to the minor leagues, was pitching pretty good up there. Got called up on the 16th, optioned out 4 days later, then getting recalled just about a week ago.
1 ball, no strikes. Morneau has singles in each of his last 2 at-bats. Good pitch at 97. You almost wonder, how does a guy who's got an arm like this kind of get released by a team like Miami?
Good question. I guess time will tell.
Slider is pulled towards the dugout of the Twins. 1-2. It also amazes me that, you know, Bert, when you were playing, guys out of the bullpen. They'd come in, throw 91, 93, 94. Now it's like every guy out of the pen's 94 or higher.
Yeah, I mean, the velocity that some of these young kids, now Reed, 27 years old, was originally signed by the Rangers back in 2007. But straight over the top, downward plane, and the ball hit right back to him.
And he can field his position. One away.
You always field your position when you're scared. That ball's coming right back at your head. You better catch it.
Well, this July, baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from New York City, July 16th, only on Fox. It'll be at Citi Field, the home of the Mets. Home Run Derby captains were named. David Wright for the National League, Robinson Cano for the American League. And you wonder, will Matt Harvey be the starting pitcher for the National League at his home park?
Tell you what, there are some pitchers in the National League having outstanding years. How about Adam Wainwright?
Clayton Kershaw.
Yep.
Shelby Miller. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. We saw Jared Burton warming up for the Twins. What's your take on Matt Harvey and what he's done and what you see from him as a pitcher?
Well, he lost the other day
Right.
to Wainwright. You know, he still pitched a good ball game, 5-1, an ERA just over 2. He's done a great job.
Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, Kershaw, the Dodgers are struggling, but he still has an ERA under 2 at 1.88. I look at quality starts. You know, Shelby Miller, you talked about him, 7-4, 2.2 ERA, 7 of 13 quality starts. To me, that doesn't get it. And what is a quality start? 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less.
But that's not the way you think of a quality start.
I think of a quality start, 7 innings, 2 earned runs or less. To me, that's a quality start.
So Deduno had a quality start here tonight for Minnesota.
He sure did. Boy, it looked like, you know, Jared Burton loosening up in the Twins bullpen. Deduno may be done for the afternoon or early evening.
3-1 hit well to right center field. Jackson looks up. This one's off the wall. Garcia's in the second base.
That's what Ron Gardenhire was talking about right there. You don't want to turn your back or go down in the clubhouse and miss an at bat, because this guy is extremely strong. Fastball pretty much right there, but you see the full extension. Good solid swing. And Garcia with his 9th double gets in the scoring position with 1 out.
And now with that hit, every player on the Twins team has at least 1 hit in this game. And nobody's had a better day than Trevor Plouffe, both in the field and at the plate, on his 27th birthday. I think he'll sleep well tonight. First pitch fastball is outside. This is back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, Trevor Plouffe with Justin Morneau on a 2-run home run, his 5th home run of the year. That tied the game at 2 apiece. Then the Twins added 3 more in the 6th. Thanks to Trevor Plouffe's leadoff double in the 6th inning.
Fastball in the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Plouffe has walked, 2-run homer, double, 2-run score. And I would say probably 2 to 3 nice plays at third base.
You know, just go back to what you were talking about, who's going to start the All-Star game. What about Jordan Zimmerman? I mean, with the Nationals. Patrick Corbin with the Diamondbacks, 9-0. You know, there's some names out there. Yeah, Harvey's having a great year, but my goodness. How do you not start a guy like Patrick Corbin that's 9-0? That'll be up to the managers to decide. We can only talk about it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count here to Plouffe. The Twins offense starting to come together here in this series. The last 3 1/3 innings.
Yeah, they got shut out last night by Rick Porcello and a couple of relievers. Lost 4-0.
1-2, hit well to left field again. Plouffe off the wall. Arcia will score. Plouffe going for second, and he is out at second base. A nice throw by Andy Dirks. That's his second outfield assist of the game, but an RBI for Trevor Plouffe.
He has had some pitches that have just kind of hung right there, and a Plouffe again, nice solid swing. Hits it off the wall, maybe about 4 or 5 feet, but what a nice play by Andy Dirks. Great one-hop throw. And Infante putting down the tag as Plouffe slides feet first to second base. But Plouffe, another RBI, his third of the ball game, and it's a 6-2 Twins lead.
So now Chris Parmalee takes the first pitch fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Parmalee singled in the 6th after the leadoff double by Plouffe. And he came around to score on the 2-run single by Joe Mauer.
Plouffe having quite a birthday.
So you have this as your birthday. You come out here, you pick up 3 hits, you've reached base all 4 times. Where do you go to celebrate? Manny's?
No, Murray's. Let's just throw out names, huh?
The other way. That's a fair ball. Parmalee's going to head for second base. Dirks picks it up in the corner. And it's a 2-out double for Chris Parmalee.
And Parmalee picks up his second hit. One thing I have seen from Reed, and this is the first time I've seen him, but not a lot of movement on his pitches. That ball right there, good piece of hitting. Parmalee just taking that pitch the other way down into that left field line. Watch this ball. Watch out at home. Here it comes. Dirks has to play it to Karam and get it back in. So 13 hits for the Twins.
Six to 2, Brian Dozier takes the fastball on the outside corner for a strike. That's what is so amazing about professional baseball players. You think 96, 97, that's hard to hit, but if it's straight, they can hit it.
Yeah, ask Nolan Ryan or Randy Johnson, guys that could throw 100 miles an hour. They always try to get movement on their pitches, keep it down in the strike zone. Of course, it's even that slider right there.
Oh, the fan right in front of us had the chance. Got to make that play.
You know, I'm going to hit him with a grate because that was terrible. I hit him right in the head with a grate. You got him. I got him too. You know, he'll go home, say, oh, you know what, he'd just go home and say he clanked it.
There you go. Checkered shirt. Watch him right there. It's in the hands.
Wow.
No. Come back. And now he's getting text messages. Burt Lyleven just threw a grape at you.
Let me ask you something. You grew up where? You grew up in New York?
Yep. Connecticut.
Did you go to ball games?
All the time.
Did you ever get a foul ball?
No.
I grew up in Southern California, went to Angel games as a high school kid. Always wanted a foul ball.
Me too.
He had that ball for a split second and then lost it.
He may never get that chance again.
Good try, though, young man.
1-2, popped up in the infield. Infante backing up on the outfield grass, there to make the catch, and that will do it. 1 run does come in to score, and 1 foul ball drop that will live in infamy for him. It's 6-2 Minnesota. game here for the Twins. It is the right-hander Jared Burton, 0-4 in 30 games, a 3.68 ERA, 29 1/3 innings on the season. What can we expect out of him?
Well, Jared Burton making his 31st relief appearance. He pitched Saturday in Washington when the Twins were there. He came out. He had a little bit of a groin injury that he was kind of shut down for about 5 days. Made a relief appearance here on Thursday. Gave up a couple runs. Ended up getting the loss in the 3-2 loss to the Philadelphia Phillies last Thursday. He is the 8th inning setup guy for Glenn Perkins for the Minnesota Twins.
Andy Dirks ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes, 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts to second base as he waves at that one.
Yeah, Burton, a very good changeup. Great delivery. The ball just comes out like a fastball and the bottom will drop out of it. A lot of people thought when he first joined the Twins that it was a split finger like a fork ball, but it's a circle changeup along with a fastball in the low 90s and a hard slider.
Ground ball, second base. Shocker. That's 4 outs for Andy Dirks, all of them to second base. Fox Sports is proud to team with Feeding America, a nationwide network of food banks that helps feed more than 37 million people in America each year through pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. Visit feedingamerica.org/Fox Sports to learn how you can fight hunger in your community. Together, we're feeding America. One away now for Miguel Cabrera. And Cabrera takes the first pitch up and in for ball 1. And really, Cabrera has been held in check in this game. Impressive job by Samuel Deduno. 0 for 2 hit by a pitch. That's it. Two balls and no strikes here to Cabrera.
Yeah, not too many games this guy takes an offer. It's kind of like Joe Mauer, watching Joe Mauer, but Cabrera does it with power.
Big swing, fouled it straight back, 2-1. So Miguel Cabrera, last year, you may have heard about it, he won the Triple Crown.
By the way.
On June 15th, he was hitting .308. This year on June 15th, .354. Had 13 home runs, now 18. And then check out the RBIs. 17 more RBIs at the same point from last year.
And he ended up with 139 last year.
And now he hits one to center field. Thomas not going to catch up to it. Off the wall, and Cabrera has a 1-out double. So there you go. You said you're not going to see many games where he goes hitless. Add this one to the list. He's not going hitless.
Look where this pitch is. Doman wants it away, but the ball middle in. It's about shin high that he just drops a barrel on the bat. And it's a line drive to the deepest part here. You saw the 4-11 sign by the bullpen of the Tigers. That was a shot. It did not take very long to get out there.
I'm going to put you on the spot because the last, 10, 15 years, I think it's pretty clear that the best right-handed hitter in baseball has been Albert Pujols. The last few years, it's that guy, Miguel Cabrera. Who would you take at their peak, Cabrera or Pujols?
Well, that's a good question. You have to look at the club that you're with. There's a ground ball to Florimon. He gets the second out. Oh, high throw.
That one is into the camera well. And so it's going to be an error against Florimon. And Cabrera will be allowed to score.
Yeah, routine play right there. Florimon throwing it over the head of Justin Morneau. And Cabrera scores. Everybody advances a base. Morneau at 6'5", still too short to get that high throw. 7th error of the year for Florimon at short.
So now it's a 6-3 ball game, and Victor Martinez at the plate. So you would look.
That's hard because Pujols with the Cardinals. My goodness, he was a great hitter. Okay with the Angels, don't get me wrong, but Cabrera, what he's able to do, win the Triple Crown. Pujols didn't do that. I might take Cabrera.
Up high to Victor Martinez.
How about yourself?
I actually think I'd take Cabrera because of how he goes the other way with pitches, the opposite field power. He's got power the other way like a lefty power hitter does, and he also has power to left field like a righty power hitter does.
Well, you're talking about two guys that I think about 28, 29 other teams would like to have.
I think you're right. Prince Fielder on at second after that. He's 6 on the throwing error there by Flourmont, and now it's 2-0 here to Victor Martinez. And at this point, you're just trying to chip away at this deficit if you're the Tigers, now down 6-3 here in the top of the 8th inning. Inside now, 3 balls and no strikes, and Johnny Peralta's on deck.
Burton has been struggling out of that bullpen over his last 3 outings. A total of 2 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. He's given up 6 earned runs.
Down low, a 4-pitch walk issued to Victor Martinez. This was a big play a couple of innings ago. Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, wearing a mic.
No. He got you. That's the way it looked to me. No, Jim, he tagged him out here, then he got in there.
You know, Bob Davidson, believe it or not, I don't think it always showed. Fielder never touched the plate.
Right.
Good call by Bob Davidson, veteran umpire.
Peralta, first pitch swing, ground ball to third. Plouffe to second for 1, and around the horn, double play. 1 run scores on the error. It's 6-3. You're watching Baseball Night in America, presented by Ace Hardware. Sponsored by MasterCard, preferred card of Major League Baseball since 1997. And by the new 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee. The sun is setting here in Minneapolis. Bottom of the 8th we go. 6-3 Twins lead the Tigers. The new pitcher into the game for Detroit, Luke Pekkonen. 8 games, 1-1, a 2.57 ERA.
Yeah, Pekkonen started the season in the minor leagues. Second stint with the Tigers this year. A couple things that have slowed his career down. Tommy John surgery in 2005. Then he had right shoulder surgery in 2008. Pekkonen, 27 years old.
He'll face 9-1-2 Pedro Flourmont leading off here in the 8th. Flourmont turning back around to hit the left side. Takes the first pitch at 95 for a strike. ball and 1 strike. Flormone sacrificed bunt his last time up. That then led to the 2-run single for Joe Mauer. Also has a single and a fly out to center.
Yeah, good 2-out hitting by Joe Mauer because Flormone laid down the bunt and then Thomas struck out. That left it up to Joe Mauer, who got the big 2-run single.
Now low, 2-1. Chase the fastball, 2-2.
Colin signed by the Tigers in 2007 out of the University of North Carolina.
The Tar Heels on their way to Omaha. Nice pitch. Got him looking.
That was a split finger right there. Fastball, curveball, splitter, and that's what he struck out Flormone on.
1 away, and don't forget to make Sunday extra special by going out to the ballpark. Go to MLB.com/Sunday to find special ticket offers. Of course, you go out to the ballpark tomorrow on Father's Day. Spend the day with your dad at the ballpark. I mean, what could be better than that? As a matter of fact, this was great. I was at the hotel yesterday, downstairs checking in, and there was a married couple checking in as well as Clete Thomas takes the first pitch for a ball. And they were in town to celebrate their 57th wedding anniversary, and they're from Minnesota. And the attendant was speaking to them, and what are they going to do? Well, we're going to go for dinner tonight, show or so tomorrow, and on Sunday we're going to the baseball game.
Isn't that great?
1-0 is pop foul into the seats, third base side. So you married 57 years, and how do you spell that? Spent the anniversary. Hey, let's go watch a ball game.
Very nice.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-2 now. The count to Clete Thomas, who is 1 for 4 with a single and 3 strikeouts. And there is the closer, Glenn Perkins, warming up in the bullpen. Off the end of the bat to short. Peralta charging, going to be a tough play, and Clete Thomas beats it out for an infield single.
Yeah, Clete Thomas too good or too quick down that first baseline, and a very nice play by Peralta, shading him a little bit up the middle. As you can see him at the top of your screen, comes in, rounds the ball, got something on the throw, but Thomas just beat it out. So Clete Thomas picks up his second hit of the ball game, and for the Twins, their 14th.
1 away now for Joe Mauer, with a big 2-run single his last time up, and you see what the Twins offense has done, and most of the offense has been done the last couple of innings. 3 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. And now Cohen will step off. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Throw back over. You ever have a first baseman complain to you how hard you threw the ball over to first base on a pickoff?
No. He said, just don't throw me a curveball.
Speaking of a curveball, there's one.
That's a good curveball there.
No balls and 2 strikes here to Mauer.
And Joe Mauer, if you watch him over the years, he has the pitcher right exactly where he wants him. One of the better 2-strike hitters in all of baseball, Joe Mauer.
Is that because that short, compact stroke
know what? Pitchers try to make that perfect pitch, and then all of a sudden it'll get to 3 balls and 2 strikes, and you'll say, okay, I got to pitch him away. He'll just go that way.
Ground ball to second base. Infante to Peralta. And a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. We go to the 9th. 6-3, Twins lead. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Tigers. Back to 1987, Game 5, Twins and Tigers. The guy sitting next to me on the mound.
How could he take that pitch?
And what do you know? A 9-5 victory. The Twins win the pennant, and now you're wearing a ring, right?
We're going to the World Series right after that, right? We played the Cardinals and beat them in 7 games. All of the wins coming here in Minnesota. Pretty nice memory there.
And now a couple of changes as we have the closer Glenn Perkins in. Try to save this one.
Yeah, Perkins last pitched on Wednesday when he picked up his 15th save against the Philadelphia Phillies in the Twins' 4-3 win. And first batter he faces is his former teammate Torrey Hunter.
And Torrey, didn't have a little bit of facial hair right there. I wouldn't be able to tell if he was, in the late 30s or in his late 20s. He hasn't changed at all. Check swing. The appeal to first. Nope, no appeal.
Yeah, Torrey Hunter, of course, with the Twins from 1997 to 2007, wore that Twins uniform for 11 years. Then went over to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and then just signed over the winter a 2-year contract with the Tigers. Guy loves to play the game of baseball.
3 things you need to know about Torrey Hunter. Idolized Bo Jackson as a kid. Who didn't? Belts Fun Youth softball field in Orange County. And, of course, you knew he played with the Twins. We just talked about it. And Torrey strikes out on a nice slider. Now it's time for the Burger King plays of the game, brought to you by Burger King, where taste is king. And Trevor Plouffe on his 27th birthday. First game back off the DL, a 2-run homer. Then a double. And for good measure, how about a nice long throw across the diamond? And oh yeah, one more off the wall. Sure, why not? That's the Burger King plays of the game.
Yeah, tomorrow's everybody's birthday. Nice day at the plate for Trevor Plouffe. Not only at the plate, we just showed a good defensive play in his first game back with the Twins. Oh, look at that.
Again. Sure. Two away.
You got a little snow cone right there. That ball came up. And Trevor Plouffe kind of shaking his head. He didn't know whether to charge the ball or stay back. He stayed back. And you can see the ball right there in the webbing. Able to get it out quickly and retire Infante at first base for the second out.
Now a pinch hitter will be Brian Pena to face the lefty Glenn Perkins. The producer of tonight's game is Jeff Gowen. The director is Jonathan Evans. The associate director is Eric Mandia. And the broadcast associate is Paul Marmoro. The executive producer of the pregame show is Mike Connor. The producer is Marty Montalto. And the director is Mark Deaver. First pitch is taken for a ball at 95, 1-0 to Pena, who's hitting .299 on the season with 2 home runs and 12 RBIs. And you see he's put up good numbers against the Twins so far this year.
Yeah, Pena last 3-4 years with the
ground ball to second base, Dozier, and that will do it. The Twins get the victory here in Game 2 of this 3-game series by the score of 6-3. These teams split the first 2. We'll have more post-game coverage in the MLB Network studios when we return. For Burt Blyleven, I'm Justin Kutcher saying so long here from Minneapolis.